Hey guys, how you guys doing today? I want to welcome each and every one of you guys to my Facebook Live today. I'm actually sitting here with a real good friend of mine, Forrest Night. Let me bring his name up real fast. Can I get him to pop up on the screen for y'all can see him? But I'm sitting here actually with him today, and we're gonna actually talk about uh, some marketing strategies and stuff like that. But not only that, guys, Forrest is truly a professional in this industry. When it comes to lead generation, getting customers and stuff like that, he's the man. He actually generated over 30 something customers in one day in this business. So I'm gonna bring Forrest on. He's gonna share a little bit of his story, and how he got involved in the profession, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Forrest.
All right. Just sitting here starting a watch party on my timeline. So absolutely, just wanted to get that going. Let me turn the volume down on that. So we are good to go. So can you hear me okay, Troy?
Yep, I can hear you great. You coming in real good. I'm starting one on my timeline.
So, absolutely. So absolutely. So a little bit about my background. Man, it's like, where do I start? So going way back in a time, long ago, back in the Star Wars times, I grew up in Denver. Grew up poor, single mom, single handicapped mom, poor in the projects. And for those of you that don't know, I talk a little bit about my story on my timeline quite a bit, but it sucks to grow up poor. And the funny thing about it was I remember all the way from being so young and having those days of the empty refrigerators, as I call it, and those months where you go to the refrigerator and you open up the refrigerator, there's literally nothing in there to eat. It's just like there's not anything in there you don't want to eat. There's just nothing. There's like a light bulb and the shelves, and there might be a tray of ice up in the freezer, and that was it. And I'd made a decision, and I remember being young, and I don't know what it was. I think I really want to say I was like first grade, maybe 8 years old. I said, you know what, someday I'm going to be a millionaire. And I didn't have a clue what it would take to get there. I just knew that if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't have to be hungry anymore. And I had made a decision somewhere around that time. I don't know, can't remember the age, but I know I rounded up a lawnmower and a rake, and I started going door to door, knocking on doors, asking people if I could cut the grass, and because I wanted money, so I could buy food because I didn't like not eating. in the summertime, in the wintertime, I scrounged up a snow shovel, and I do the same thing. And so I had my little clients in my neighborhood that I go around and do this to, and I get $5. The yards weren't big, $5 here, $10 there, and it made a difference, being able to have that money. And I started working. I've been hustling ever since. It was just pretty much been nonstop. High school. Senior year, I decided I want to do something different, so I joined the military, joined the Navy, went off and adventured around the world, and did that. And right at the end of being in the Navy, right at the end, just before I got out, I was introduced to network marketing, and it was one of the guys that I knew, and I can't remember his name to this day. He introduced me to network marketing. I saw the plan. I don't even remember how I saw the plan, but it was with a company called Amway, which is like the big godfather of network marketing. And I fell in love with the concept. But what really got me excited at the time, one of their products or one of the services they offered was being able to get people to enroll with a credit card. And I got all these credit card flyers, and I went and you could get them and put your name on them. I went to all these gas stations and places, and I handed them out. And next thing you know, a couple of months later, I got this check in the mail. Now the check was freaking awesome. It was unbelievable. It was like $4.34.
Can you hear me, Forrest? $4.37. I guess Forrest might have froze up a little bit there. Yeah, $4.30 something cents. That's what you got, Forrest?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
So I don't know where I went to. Anyway, so to make a long story short, it wasn't the amount of money. It was the concept that I did something one time, and then I got paid for it. Then the next month, I think I got like $11 or something and some change. So it was the concept. I understood the concept, and that was just one of their many products. And I basically fell in love with network marketing, got in the deal. Many companies later, I had one company had 650 people in my downline. I put it in about 90 days, and literally overnight they disappeared because the company that started it decided to go in a different direction, and it was a bad decision for everybody. And in that entire downline just disappeared and went away. So most recently, the company I'm with now is just absolutely awesome. Fell in love with it back in this past September. Just everything just sort of fit right. It's like finding like the perfect wife, right? Finding the perfect woman that you want to be married to, and you just know everything is right. You've been dating all the other ones, right? Trying to find the right one, then you bump into the right one, and it's just a beautiful marriage and relationship, and the concept and just everything about it's just really right. It's very cool. Very concept. Now you'd ask about how getting all these customers really fast, right? So one of the going back just a little bit, right before I started this company, one of the things that I decided I wanted to do is I made a decision that I was going to not just sort of just go along and just half do it. I wanted to make a huge impact. I wanted to make sure that I got everything right, and not exactly right. I just wanted to make sure I had the tools in place so that if I was going to do this, I knew that I had a system put in place that could do it for the long haul, because I know that a lot of somewhere in the mix, people think that network marketing is like a get rich quick deal. It's not. It's a you can make a lot of money if you work hard.
Yeah.
And it's a real hustle. I mean, it's a real deal, and it's a sideline hustle that can turn into a full-time hustle if you do it right. I did it wrong a lot.
I got one thing, guys, and I want you guys to take that into note what Forrest said. He made a decision. He made a decision this time to really, put the system, because a lot of people, they get involved, and like you said, they think it's a good get rich quick scheme, but it's really not. Me and you both know it's a lot of work. And a lot of times to accomplish anything big, you got to make that commitment and that decision, just like you did. So guys, he leading up to how he actually generated them customers and how he do the things he do. But it all started with that decision. Forrest made a decision that he was going to do it, and he was going to be committed to building something really big here. So go ahead, Forrest.
So the decision that I made, one is I wanted to make sure I plugged into a system that was going to give me the tools to work. And that system was Rank Makers. And I made a decision last October to go to Rank Makers Live. I drugged my wife along. She didn't want to go because she didn't want to do the whole rah hypey thing of the network marketing functions. And we got there, and there was no hype. It was all business. It was all solutions. It was all answers. But the most important thing, and there's a lot of stories of success, of seeing people overcome challenges and just being able to listen to the stories and have the tools necessary. But the important decision, another important decision that I made there, was to align myself with a coach and have somebody that I could bounce off, make sure that I would have the tools necessary to move to the next level. So enrolled in the Rank Makers coaching program, which was the absolute best investment that I've ever made in my life. And a few months later, I went from just having a few customers a month to having a lot of customers a month. But the system behind it. Now here's what I want to share with you. If you're new in network marketing, and I'm going to say this, it takes a lot of work, and a lot of work is keeping it simple and keeping it duplicatable. If you ever hear me talk, I talk about there's a couple of things that are very important you do. One is marketing. You got to market, and that's something you can learn to do. But the two basic core principles, one is constant reaching out, knocking on somebody's door, putting a message of hope in their inbox, and asking them if they're open to taking a look. That's your only job. That should be your only job. Not asking them if they want to lose weight or try some new blah, 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 blah. Asking them if they're open to taking a look at your product, service, or opportunity. That's it. That's it. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're just simply asking them if they want to take a look at your product, service, or opportunity. The second thing that you're going to do on a regular basis is get them in front of a tool. And that tool can be a live Zoom presentation. It could be a recorded presentation. It can be something that's not you that's putting the information in front of them so they can put their eyeballs on it and they can make the decision whether or not that product, service, or opportunity is for them. If they decide they want to move forward, then you go from there and you take them down the path that's necessary, either as the customer path or the teammate path, based on how they respond to, hey, what did you like most about what you saw? So when you get those two, when you get that answer, you move through that. And if you're brand new, you might have to tie into a team lead or somebody that has a little bit more experience with you and maybe get them on a three-way call to help you close that deal. But for the primary, the primary thing that you want to get really, really good at, if you're going to put in a lot of customers, whether it's 5 customers a day, 10 customers a day, 20 customers a month, 100 customers a month, is constantly just reaching out to people, lots of people, asking them if they're open to your product, service, or opportunity. And when they say yes, putting them in front of a tool and then following up. You have to follow up. Very, very important that you follow up. Did I answer your question okay?
Yes, you answered my question. Great. And every time I get on a Facebook Live for some crazy reason, as far as my dogs start wanting to play with me. I mean, see, like before we got on this live, he was laying over there minding his own business. Quick as I get on this Facebook Live, he's jumping up and down on me. Me and you both are heavily involved in rank makers, Forrest. You actually, I don't even know if you noticed or not, brother, you inspired me to actually take myself to a whole nother level. Even with rank makers, I actually got involved in rank makers in 2017, right when Ray first came out with it. Lisa actually brought it for me, my wife. And I was actually riding down the road going to a meeting, and she was like, Ray Higgins coming out with a little program, and she bought it for me. So I got it. I just set it to the side. I looked at it a couple of times, looked at a couple of videos, didn't really heavily engage in it. And then I saw that you had went to that event. And then I saw that you start doing all these videos and putting all this good content out there. And I was like, you know what? The next time he do a 14-day challenge, I am in. So he did the 14-day challenge. I saw you in the group. I signed up for it. But since that 14-day challenge, Cyrus, even my business has went to a whole nother level. I got a lot of more followers. I got a lot of more people interacting with me, wanting to know what I'm doing. So, and I highly recommend Rank Makers to my team because I think it's an awesome program. Just like you talking about the coaching thing. I'm not in the coaching thing, not yet, but I will get in it. And I've been following you. What do you think the key is about accountability, Forrest? Because I know you talked about that at one.
So going through right now, and the cool thing about, and sort of moving to the next step of being in Rank Makers and going to the coaching program, I was invited to actually be a Rank Makers coach, which was just like and that's a whole nother story, dream come true. But the cool thing about it right now is we're doing a vibrational money immersion course inside of the 100K Inner Circle program. And a couple of things that you just brought up. One is about making a decision. 2 is about taking action and creating that vibration with you and having that coaching program with you. So everything is sort of intermixed. You had mentioned, yeah, and just like you, I have a dog as well. When I start doing a Facebook Live, he's got to come and like get all in my face. It's sort of funny, and I just look at him like he's nuts. So it's a lot of deal.
He would not leave me alone for some reason today, Forrest. I mean, he would not leave me alone. But anyway, go ahead. So you said and I'm really sorry about this too, man. He would not leave me alone. So what you said about the coaching part, and you was talking about rank makers. And go ahead.
So in Rank Makers, one of the things, and this is showing up for any program, right? This is making a decision. One of the things we're talking about in the vibrational money immersion is we're going through and actually talked about having a mastermind and an accountability group. So the accountability group, I strongly believe, is if you're going to take yourself to the next level. One is if you're just brand new in network marketing, jumping into a coaching program might be a little bit too much for you. However, you really got to plan to show up. I tell the people that I'm coaching, are you sure? Are you ready? You ask me a question because I'm going to push. And it's not about being bossy, but it's about going to that next level. And the reason I bring that up is because I push myself all the time. Last January, and I like to push myself to see what's going to happen, because if you don't take action, you don't put yourself out there, you can guess and think and maybe wishy-washy, like, well, what if I do this? It might. You don't know what's going to happen until you take the action. So last January, I jumped in. I made a commitment. I was going to reach out to 1,800 people in a month.
Wow.
Right. So I went to work. I put my head down. I was like, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out.
Hold on, Forrest. How many people in a month?
1,800.
And I got to tell you, you inspire me too with that, brother. Because I'm doing like, at first I was doing 20 a day. And then one of my mentors started telling me, Troy, 20, that's too small. You need to do at least 50 to 60. Then I get over there and I'm listening to your lives and you're doing hundreds a day. And I was on one of your Facebook lives and you had a lady that was reaching out to 400 people a day. So go ahead, Forrest, go. I mean, you guys just blew me up. I mean, blew me away, bro.
So that mushroomed into two. I ended up with like 1,572 that I got done in January. And it learned me. Yeah, I said learned. I learned a couple of things from that. One is I built a muscle, right, that I could do it. It was a possibility to figure out how to squeeze that into my day. The second thing I learned is that it generates a ton of follow-up, right? It creates a huge list of people, because remember, when you're reaching out to people, they might be interested right now, but they might not be ready to go right now. So for the new person out there, you've got to realize that just because somebody says they're interested they mean you're asking them if they want to take a look, not do they want to join, not do they want to buy anything. You're just simply asking them if they want to take a look to see if what you have to offer is going to be for them. They might not be into your keto XYZ PDQs, right? They might not be into that stuff. So your whole goal is just to ask them, present it to them, and let them make the decision, and then be okay with whatever direction they go with. If they say, hey, I need to wait a while, they say, great, I'll follow up in a couple of months, whatever. So your process is that. But here's the thing about that, and moving into the accountability group. One of the things it did is I now have an accountability group. There's 6 of us in the accountability group. And I'm going to swing back to this, where I'm going with this. I have an accountability group. There's 6 of us, and we're all doing big numbers like that. And it's not a brag number. It's because we realize that it's very important to make an impact as fast as possible on as many people as possible. And the cool thing about that accountability group, it's like a mini mastermind group, is that we all bounce off each other. We talk to each other. We encourage each other. We uplift each other, and we keep moving forward. And it's like almost like a power prospecting group, which is neat. None of us are related to anybody in a downline. So there's no money, no awkwardness that way in that deal. A couple of us are in the same business, but we're not in the same team. So there's no money generated from any of us working with that. And the other 3 people, I believe, that are in the group, they're all in different businesses. So it's very, very important. If you are going to move forward, if you are going to prospect big numbers, it is so very important that you probably want to tie into an accountability group to track what you're doing to be able to do that. I think you had another question, but I missed it.
I got another question. So, all them people you reach out to on a daily basis, hundreds of them. I always tell people, Forrest, because, I reach out to a lot of people too. And, you always got to follow up. And it start to compound over time where you got a lot of people to follow up with. But what I always try to share with my team, because I don't want people to get discouraged, right? And like you said, if a person is like new to network marketing, they probably don't want to get in rank makers. If I was brand new to network marketing and I joined Forrest's team, I'm going to follow Forrest's lead. I'm going to start in a warm market and, because we in rank makers. So Forrest will be able to teach you different scripts and stuff where you can actually go to your warm market, because that's where it's meant to start, right? But what I always try to teach people who plan in the cold market, because the cold market is completely different, is that if you reach out to 1,500 people, probably maybe 1% or less are going to respond back. So you can't get discouraged, and you got to understand, would you agree, Forrest? It's a numbers game. That's why you guys reach out to so many people per day, per month, right?
So watch this. Now here's how you tie all this together. And you definitely cannot get discouraged, but see, there's a secret sauce in here in the mix. And you'll notice I said prospecting, follow-up, and marketing. The marketing part of this comes in from the Facebook Lives. In the industry, there's gurus going around saying you have to, build rapport with people so people get to know, like you, and trust you. Watch this. If you put your face out on Facebook every single day and do a Facebook Live and talk about whatever, it doesn't have to be about your business. It can be about the weather, the hurricanes in Texas. It can be about anything you want to talk about. Recommend staying away from politics.
Yeah, for real.
It can be anything that you want to talk about. It can be talking about how to exercise, how to eat better, meal planning, how to make a COVID-19 mask. I mean, anything you could possibly want to talk about on a Facebook Live, you can get on there and talk about. Now, of course, in Rank Makers, they teach you a formula about the right way to do one. But here's the cool thing about this on the marketing side of your Facebook Live, right? There's going to be people that you reach out to in that cold market when you're cold market prospecting that are going to sit back and they're going to watch you because they want to see if you're walking your talk, right? They're going to want to see who you are. They're going to spy on you. They're going to stalk you. They might peep in on a Facebook Live every now and then because they want to get to know, like, and trust you. They want to know, like, and trust you. In fact, I've done a Facebook Live continuously every day since December 27th, 2018. Every day. There was a period in there I was doing 2 a day. And the reason I did that is there's a few leads starting to generate in from that, but I want to give people complete transparency about who is Forrest Night, who am I, how do I show up every day on a regular basis. Now, if you're brand new, you don't have to do a Facebook Live to build a business. But if you want people to start to know, like, and trust you, you might want to do some Facebook Lives so people get a chance to see who you are, see what you're about. And you'll see I talk a lot. I talk a lot about my wife. I talk a lot about my dog. People are really attracted to relationships. So if you can get a spouse involved in a couple of your Facebook Lives, that's really cool. Or you get her to do her Tina Turner impersonation on a celebration dance. Anything that you can get involved. But the process is prospecting, follow up, and marketing. And the marketing side of that is if you're going to do a lot of numbers in the cold market, if you're going to reach out to a lot of people in the cold market, people have to be able to know you. And if you're doing an Instagram channel, do Instagram. Whatever that platform is you want to work on, people are going to have to get to know you one way or another. You can sit around and build rapport all day long. I honestly don't have time to sit down and build rapport and make friends with people only to turn around and prospect. And that to me just seems really fake. Now, there are some people that I've prospected that have actually said no, that I continued a conversation with and now have a relationship with, that are jumping in and asking me, like, so what exactly is it you do?
That's the way it works.
That's the way it works. So there's a mix in there, right? There's no perfect, like, if you do this one line of stuff, it's going to happen. You've got to be flexible. You've got to have multiple hats that you put on depending on what live you're doing, right? So it's a matter of having a combination of tools. Rank Makers, definitely recommend jumping in Rank Makers if you're brand new. And 2 things. One is make sure you tie into your upline leader that's moving and shaking in your business. Find out who that person is, because the person that enrolled you may be as new as you are by one day, right? They may be just as clueless as you are about what to do and how to do it. So make sure you find somebody in your organization that's moving and shaking that you can tie into so you understand the company deal.
I ain't mean to interrupt you, Forrest, but I got one thing before I forget. The power of Facebook Lives is that because we're reaching out to people on Facebook, I know I do, LinkedIn, all these social platforms, right? And what I've noticed is from doing the lives, people, they go to your Facebook and they start scrolling up, looking at all your Facebook Lives, and they start building a relationship with you and start thinking they know you, which they do, but that's what it's about. They got to trust you. So just doing Facebook Lives, I mean, they change your business completely. I 100% agree with you. I've been following you doing yours. Sometimes I look at the replay a lot of times. Me, myself, I committed to doing them 5 days a week. And I do one on Wednesdays, I do one on Instagram. But on Facebook, Monday through Friday, it's always alive, man. So going to go with the next step. I ain't mean to interrupt you, Forrest. This is some good stuff. I should have a pad or something writing this down, bro.
The cool thing about it, it's on Facebook, so it's evergreen. So the next thing is very important. So you're going to tie into your upline leader, mover, and shaker that's going places. The other part of this is you have to, and it sounds crazy, and I know my wife says she doesn't like the rah hype. And I'm going to explain the rah hype. I went to our company convention in Houston in February, and it was a life changer for me in my business, because I already started courting the business in September, and I made a decision that was going to be the deal. And I plugged into that event in Houston. Thank God it was right before the whole COVID-19 thing hit up. I think it was like the last event of the century. But got plugged into that, went to that, and I was able to hang out with some people, meet some people that are in our business from all over the world, grow some really, really cool friendships. As a matter of fact, a couple of them are in my accountability group. So those relationships were very, very important. But I was able to tie in and see from a corporate perspective of the level of where the business was going, and it just lit a fire inside of me that I'm gonna use the relationship analogy, that I was gonna put a ring on it, and that was a relationship that I was gonna have, and I was gonna stay there, and it really cemented that. And it wasn't so much the raw and the hype; it was the whole ether and the energy and the relationships and the team building that went on inside that event. So most events nowadays are virtual. So if you've got an event coming up, I would highly recommend our company events coming up here the first of next month. I've taken the days off from work because I'm going to set up my theater here in my office. I'm going to put up my TV and I'm going to pretend just like I'm there. I'm not going to have any distractions because I understand the power of events. So one, if you've got a company event coming up, you've definitely got to plug in and get plugged into that. Two, you've got to make sure that you get plugged into an upline mover and shaker. And three, it's if you really want to move your business, get some type of outside, and this is just me. This is what worked for me, is get an outside coaching program like Rank Makers. Rank Makers Group, I think there's 20,000 of us in there. They're the most supportive, loving, uplifting group of network marketers you could possibly ever run across. You want to get some high fives, you want to get some encouragement, you want to explode your business, you definitely want to tie into that. And I'll bet you probably some of your upline leaders, like your upline leaders, are probably tied in to Rank Makers somewhere in some upper level coaching and training programs, with no doubt, because it's everybody in the industry is sort of related in that fashion. And then of course, if you really want to take your business to the next level, maybe you've been in network marketing for a while. And this isn't me trying to sell you guys anything. This is just my experience.
Hold on, Forrest. What people don't understand is me and you, because I talk about Rank Makers a lot, we do not get paid nothing from Rank Makers. We just trying to, me and you both, and the people that talk about Rank Makers, we're really trying to help people because we know for a fact how it's been able to actually help us. You know what I'm saying? And then I want to go back a little bit and talk about the power of events. See, people miss that because the power of events is something magical that happens at company events. When you go to the event, it helps you really start believing in the company, grab hold to the vision, you know, and then you build relationships within the company. When you agree, Forrest, but Rank Makers, I mean, man, it's awesome. I mean, if a person been in the industry for a long time and they want to take their game to a whole nother level, even if they already making 6 and 7 figures, Rank Makers is the place to be. And me and Forrest don't get paid nothing for Rank Makers. Finn, go ahead, Forrest.
Yeah, don't get paid. Yeah, don't get paid anything for referring to Rank Makers. If you're, and again, it's a solution. So going back to the basics, it's all about making a decision, right? And for me, I really wanted to make an impact. And one of the things that changed, I went to Rank Makers Live last year. I got tied into a coach, and having that coach, just a few minor tweaks. But here's the cool thing about that is she had me go all the way back when I started talking earlier. I was talking about how I grew up poor in the projects on welfare, and she helped me tie into that. You know, they say you have to have a why that makes you cry, and you know, I have a 7-figure goal, like a big 7-figure income goal, but I needed to tie something back into that had some kind of real heartfelt meaning to that, and I didn't even realize it was the skinny black kid that opened up a refrigerator that was hungry. And there was born the concept of no more empty refrigerators. Because I had a coach, I was able to bring that to the surface. See, when I grew up poor and you get used to doing that, it's not like a big deal. It's like you don't carry it around like a ball and chain going, oh, I was poor. At least I didn't. You know, I went out and hustled, got a lawnmower, got a snow shovel, and went to work because I didn't want to stay there. And is everybody like that? I don't know. But I knew that if I was going to make an impact on people's lives with my business and my company and my brand, is I had to have and understand the concept that Troy's empty refrigerator may be different than mine, right? There may be something in there that needs to be filled, you know, something that needs to be overcome. Maybe bring the spouse home from work, pay off some debt, send the kids to college, whatever that might be. Your empty refrigerator might be a little bit different concept, but you might be sitting in front of you might be sitting in, you know, there might be somebody sitting in their living room right now going, man, I just need a couple extra $100 a month, right? and you're sitting behind your iPhone going, I wonder if I should reach out to them. What are they going to think about me? What if they think it's a pyramid? What if they're blah, 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 blah? You blew an opportunity to put your opportunity in front of that person that's sitting there praying for God to send them an opportunity, and you chicken out, right? Put the message in their inbox, ask them if they're open, and move on. And God will take care of the rest. Trust me, He will. And if you just keep that concept going over and over and over and over, equate it to like a haystack. You got a needle in a haystack. The faster you go through those straws of hay, the quicker you're going to find a needle. If you do 10, that's cute. If you want to play really big, you got to go really big. You got to go. And I got a challenge at the end of this when we're done. I'm going to throw out to everybody here. So I think you'll dig it. It's going to be fun. So.
But just the same thing, Forrest. Like myself personally, the first company me and Lisa got into, we did real good, right? And I wasn't looking for a business. I truly wasn't. I was an electrician. My goal was to own my own construction company. I was doing fairly well. I would go to work in the morning, get off in the evening, go do side jobs, right? But the gentleman that he played professional football, he approached me while I was doing a job for him and his wife about a business, right? Well, if he would have never approached me, been scared or whatever, I wouldn't have never knew about the industry. And that's what you're talking about. You running through numbers because you never know people's situations. You know what I'm saying? I knew why I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, because I just really wanted to work for myself. I grew up kind of like you. Family didn't have that much money and stuff, right? And also I had a learning disability. I struggled with dyslexia while I was growing up. So, my thing was, I know college wasn't my thing because, when I was growing up, they didn't even know what that was. People just look at it like, man, he really slow or whatever, right? But I was always good with my hands, and I always had a real good memory, to be able to pick up stuff. So once I got into network marketing, I really wanted to empower other people and show them that it don't matter about your background. It don't matter about your education. It don't matter about none of that. If you got the work ethic and you can be teachable and coachable, you can be able to build a 7-figure income. And just like you, that's what I got big goals. I know when I go to your life, I see that big bike sitting in the back. And you told me one day, Troy, you just want to know how much it costs. And that's what I'm talking about, being able to, dream again, show people that it's possible, man. So go ahead, Forrest, pick up where you left off at, brother.
Man, you got me going in a whole bunch of different directions. Two things that are very, very important. One is the stinking thinking that's in our brain is going to creep in. That's your arch nemesis. Number one nemesis is going to be your stinking thinking. It's going to be the way that you look at yourself in the mirror. It's going to be those decisions that you make based on how you feel about yourself, tying yourself to the emotional side of making that decision. So tying myself to that no more empty refrigerators concept of reaching out to people and knocking on their doors is very important. So when we're talking about getting into rank makers, or talking about tuning into some of your trainings, or talking about going to an event, those are all mindset shifters, right? Those are giving you the tools to get the stinking thinking out of here so that you can take action, so you're not scaredy pants anymore, right? It's the ability that when somebody says, I take everything that somebody says to me positive. If somebody says, is this one of those pyramid things? I'm like, absolutely, it's one of those pyramid things, man. It's the coolest pyramid in the planet. Would you like me to send you some information? Completely different. Most people hear pyramid and go, oh God, they're being negative.
When they said that to me, Forrest, I'll be the same way. Absolutely. If it was anything else, I wouldn't be doing it. That's one of my sayings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no doubt.
And it's all about changing how you think about stuff, not letting the kinks in your armor actually make it through to the skin, right? It's about the taking the action. It's about showing up. It's about the mindset, because you've got to have both. One of the things that I discovered that really got me excited is when I did those big numbers in January, I saw the results come out and started getting customers to enroll. It got me more excited about wanting to do more prospecting, right? It got me more excited about wanting to reach out to more people. It got me more excited about that. And then some team members decided to jump on board, and yesterday I had 3 people out of the blue just reach out to me and say, dude, what's going on? What do you got going on? So I sent them a presentation. It happens, but it doesn't happen overnight, right? Again, I started doing my first Facebook Live continuously. Now, I've done Facebook Lives before December 27, 2018. But they were hit and miss and all over the place, but continuously showing up. continuously prospecting. Every day I prospect and reach out to somebody. Every freaking day I put a message of hope in somebody's inbox. So it's about making a decision as to where you want your business to go, how many people that you want to impact. And right now I'm just talking to people that want to play big. If you're here for $300 or $400 a month, you can still do what you're doing. You can still prospect small numbers. You can still do that to keep your life going on. And I just brought up a story of a lady who her whole goal was to make $1,000. Her whole goal was to make $1,000. And she went out and she started working because her husband, I think, was working 2 jobs, if I remember the story. And she hustled so hard, she made like $9,000 her first month. And she realized, like, when she stepped back at the action that she took, she was like, oh my God, what just happened? So she realized, she really got excited about that. And then she realized that she could impact other people's lives. And now she's got a huge business, a huge organization, simply because all she wanted to do was make $1,000. So sometimes that might be where you're at. You're like, I just need to make $400. Show up, reach out to people, knock on their door, ask them if they're open to product, service, or opportunity, send them a tool, and follow up and ask them what they like most about what they saw. And if you need some help from somebody, get an upline leader or a team leader, somebody to jump in and help you do that deal, and just keep doing it day after day after day after day after day.
So Forrest, we're gonna wrap it up. And one tip, if you gave somebody one tip that was looking to build a business, what would that tip be, brother? One tip, one tip.
So first, before the tip, I'm going to throw out a challenge. The challenge is this: starting on September 1st, and we got some people involved, starting on September 1st, we're going to do a 200 a day prospecting blitz challenge for 15 days.
Whoa!
So if you want to play, I'm going to launch it on September 1st. I'll have everything ready. I have the scripts for you. We'll do it. We're going to do it live on my timeline. You can come and join in, and we'll do some accountability stuff with that. And the reason I'm doing that is that I love to push people. And if you're scared, you want to play big, there's no right or wrong. You might only be able to reach out to 80 people, whatever. But if you come and play, you'll see the excitement. You'll see the momentum. You'll see the growth in your business. You'll see the excitement. You'll see how many people are going to play. And go, wow, it'll change your mindset about how you feel about yourself. It'll change your mindset about how you feel about your business. And once you get a system in place, it doesn't matter what business you're in. It really doesn't. I mean, it's nice that you fall in love with your company, and it's really nice that you fall in love with the product, service, and the concept and idea. That really helps. But you might be dating a really nice one right now, and you can use those tools to help build that relationship, right? And do that. So that's the challenge. So the one tip, the absolute one tip that I would have for anybody is no zeros at the end of the day. No zeros at the end of the day. You've got to reach out to somebody and ask them if they're open to your product, service, or opportunity. You have to. That's your job. If somebody says, what do? You say, I introduce people to a concept to show them how to give them an opportunity to take a look at a concept to make a little bit of extra money inside. That's what you do. You're not selling eye cream or makeup or weight loss products. You're reaching out to people to get them to take a look at your product, service, or opportunity. That's what your answer should be when somebody asks you what you do.
Okay, cool. So Forrest, this is what I want you guys to do. If you ain't friends with Forrest on Facebook, reach out to Forrest. If you got any questions to ask Forrest, ask him. He will answer them. But Forrest is the guy that you will want to most definitely befriend, guys. I mean, if you shoot him a message, he'll respond. You know the way I am, and I know Forrest is the same way. If it's enough people out here that we can help for, it don't matter. If you might be looking at this and you might, vibing with Forrest, and might be thinking about joining the business. You know what I'm saying? Go over there and talk to Forrest. I'm sure you'll be in good hands. Well, I'm not sure. I know for a fact you'll be in good hands. Or you might be looking for a business, and you might vibe with me. Reach out to me. Shoot me a message. Shoot Forrest a message. We're here to help. All we want to do is truly help. See, people like myself and Forrest, we know for a fact that we're not selling nothing. We are actually offering people opportunity, truly opportunity to change their life. That's the bottom line. Especially what's going on in this country today with the economy and stuff like that. If a person don't have some kind of side hustle, man, they are truly in trouble, because even people that have jobs, most of them are worried about getting laid off or worried about losing their job. So they're being really overworked, guys. So I challenge you guys. And man, I'm up for that challenge. 200 a day, Forrest? I'm with you, brother. I'm gonna roll with you 200 a day. And if you already in the industry and you really want to take your game and your business to the next level, join me and Forrest on that challenge of 200 a day. Forrest, I'm doing like 60 a day, bro. So that means I gotta up my game. but like he said, if you play big, then you win big. When you agree, Forrest? And with that, guys, I'm sorry. This was reality TV at its best because my dog was all over me today. But I know for a fact you guys got value from this. And me and Forrest both, from my heart, I want to say God bless to each and every one of you guys that tuned into this. And I really hope that this helped you take your game and your business to the next level. And if you're looking for something, I hope that you reach out to one of us. And with that, God bless. Thanks, Forrest.